Hi guys, it is my first ever full-time day at home being a full-time writer. So the couple of things I have learned about full-time writing, one is you're home when the dishwasher, washing machine and Hoover are going, so it is a noisy place. I did try and minimize the dishwasher. I tried to put them on all at once so that I had less time to be annoyed by it, which was a good plan, but it was still super noisy, and I managed actually to write for about 20 minutes even with all of this noise going on, so I was pretty impressed with myself. Two is that there are so many chores to do that you feel like you're a bad person for focusing on writing, but then if you do the chores, you obviously don't write. So that's the biggest thing I've struggled with today because it's my first day home. I've been trying to organize everything and make sure that all of the chores are done and the house is tidy, and I'm not sure that's the best thing to do, but it's certainly the thing I am doing. And the third thing is that there is candy. There's limitless candy. This is very bad. So hopefully there will be less candy. I mean, hopefully there will be the exact same amount of candy in the house today as there is tomorrow, because I won't have eaten all of it. But the likelihood is that I will have eaten all of it by the end of the week. So I managed actually to write for about 2 hours so far, and it's now 4 o'clock. No, it's not, it's 3 o'clock. But obviously that's not all at once, so I've been doing a 15-minute sprint followed by 15 minutes of doing other things. So I have been doing a full-time job. However, I am aware that this isn't the best balance, and I'm going to try and tilt it a bit more towards writing more and having less breaks. But I'm trying to ease into my new life for the week. But yeah, I just thought I'd tell you how it's going, and yeah, I will see you again shortly. Maybe tomorrow, maybe when I eat the next box of candy. Who knows? So it is day 2 of my full-time writer experiment. I managed to do 3 hours yesterday, which is not bad, and I think I wrote 14 pages. Each page is roughly 200 to 250 words long, based on 2 pages which I counted, so probably not that accurate. But I'm not counting the number of pages I write a day, so that's as close as we're gonna get. Today I have a schedule, but it is completely sample. You see? So this is more of a challenge to see whether I can do this. So essentially this means I will do 10 minutes of writing and then do a chore, and then 20 minutes of writing and then do a chore, then 30 minutes of writing and then do a chore, and then an hour of writing, an hour of writing, 2 hours of writing, and then rewind. So after 2 hours it's just 1 hour, 30 and 15. 7 hours of writing, so I highly doubt that I'll be able to do all of this, but I just want to experiment to see whether this works for me, whether this is easing in the way that I want it to be. So it's really warm in here. Whether I need to be doing short bursts, 10-minute sprints, 5-minute break, 10-minute sprints, or whether I can do 2-hour sprints. So yeah, so this is just the first of many attempts to find my writing place, I guess. And this is the Rocket Book. I actually have a video on this up here. Alright guys, no, it's probably up there. Alright guys, I'm going to go get started. Wish me luck. So I've just finished my first sprint, which was 10 minutes. And I took out the bins as my chore. Lukewarm tea. So this time the writing came a lot easier in terms of what I wanted it to do and where it was going and the words and stuff. But I really felt a lot of pain in my shoulder and my hand while I was writing, even though it was just for 10 minutes. I might have to switch to doing my editing and refactoring, that's such a software word. Rewriting or amending Ebo, just because my shoulder is killing me. As you might know if you watch my reading vlogs, I've had quite a lot of trouble with my neck recently, and I don't really want that to come back. I'm trying to be very careful with how much writing I do, but I'm going to at least write on this project, the handwritten project, for the next 20 minutes, see how I feel after that. Like I said, yesterday the words were struggling for the first hour, and I felt like I really had to push myself to get things on there, and I'm fairly sure that the story will have suffered because of that, but it's all there to be edited out, right? And now, another 20 minutes. It is not even 9:30 a.m. yet, and I have finished an hour of writing that is in 3 different sprints. My hand is cramping like crazy, but I've written 5 pages already. So I'm incredibly excited by that. I think that's really good progress, and we're getting to the part where I know what's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm excited. I just need to get her out of the camp and into the wilderness now. So just a few more pages to go before she slips free. So I did my 20 minutes and then did made the bed and took out, no, I didn't leave the house. I made the bed and emailed a couple of people and did that kind of chore. I've just finished my half hour now, so I think I'm going to take the recycling down. It's like a very exciting life here in the cat residence. And then I might take a slightly longer break, or I might do my hour. I should probably just do my hour so I'm not afraid of it. I think it's an hour next. So I'm not afraid to focus for that long, and then maybe I can be almost done with all of my writing before lunch, which would be an incredible feat. And I'd probably still write more after lunch. And I might not have a hand anymore, but we'll see. It's me again! I put on a jumper because it got a bit cold. So I did complete my hour-long sprint. It was not very fun. Like, focusing for an hour, and like my hand hurt and I had to change positions. Like, so I was lying on the couch writing and then I was sitting back up writing, and I don't know. I feel like an hour might be too long for me to not for focus, because I did manage to focus. There was a period of time where I put down the pen and like actually thought about what was going to happen next, because I managed to get her into the wilderness, and now I'm like, but nobody wants to read a chapter of someone in the wilderness not knowing what the fuck they're doing, so I don't know what to do with you now. So I have to introduce some mistakes there. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So I'm going to take a short break. I did have some toast already with Nutella. I might go outside and read for a bit and see if I get any inspiration from that. Or I might just have a nap. But I have now done, I think, 3 hours of writing today. 2 hours. I've done 2 hours of writing today. Good morning. It is Monday morning. So the days 1 and 2 were Thursday and Friday, because my last day of work was a Wednesday, and now it is Monday. Now, I didn't vlog Saturday and Sunday because I really feel like it is important to have a break if you're going to be doing this full time. I don't want every single day to feel the same. I want to have a day of reset, or else my brain isn't working quite the same way. So I've thought about the story. I think I read like a page aloud to my partner, but I didn't write anything. So on Saturday I wrote for 20 minutes, I think, and for Sunday I didn't write at all. So here we are, bright and early on Monday morning, and I have 2 choices ahead of me. I can play computer games all day, or I can write. And honestly, I am tending towards wanting to do the former, but because I have already been for a run and been outside and gotten the kind of like exercisey thing done, I feel like I have the self-power and the will to at least write for, you know, an hour and a half or maybe even 2 hours before I give up and just go back to bed or play computer games all day. So the plan for Friday, which was to work in ever-increasing chunks of time, sort of worked. I think I figured out that I can write for about 45 minutes before becoming annoyed at myself. And so today I'm going to be testing out that theory. So this is kind of what I got done. I did 10, 20, 30, 1 hour, then I did 45 minutes because I really couldn't face another hour, and then I did the last like 20 minutes down here. Today, this is sort of what I am going to try and go for. It's a warm-up sprint and then just a lot of 45-minute sprints. You know, I'm going outside the house here and here to do the library, take back books and recycling. Lunch is going to be also kind of like a longer break, 20 minutes. Laundry, I'm not so sure that's a longer break, so I might have to do something else then, like plan the week's food maybe. But yeah, I'm trying to do 45 minutes and then maybe a 15 to 20 minute break, mostly where I try and leave the house, so like the library and the recycling, or have a complete switch off focus. So that is the plan. I don't know how well I will stick with it. I've tried to go for, so because I was doing 3 hours on day 1 and day 2, for day 3, which is this one, I'm going to try and do 4, which is why I've got 5 45-minute blocks, and that's because I've been doing really well at 3 hours a day, and I just want to see if I can stretch it to 4 while also experimenting with these 45 minutes. Oh, I lied to you. I did actually write yesterday. So on Sunday I did do quite a lot of writing, and it was around 9 p.m, so it was around the time I should have been in bed, but I got this idea for a fan fiction, and it's sort of like loosely based on one of the novels I read recently. I just like wanted to explore it, so I wrote the first 3 paragraphs to see if I liked it, and then checked with my friend, and she was like, hey, I really like the format, are you going to keep writing? And then I kept writing. So I did actually write yesterday, but I didn't write on the novel, so I think that I didn't mean to lie to you, but I a little bit did. Okay, yeah, breakfast, I'm starving. So the first 10 minutes went really well. We have about a page, it was this one, the one that says the 20th of May on it, and you can see where I've like crossed things out or like not know what to write. But yeah, I am having fun. I'm still enjoying my 2 phantom pen look. Yeah, purple and black. So this was the end of Friday, Saturday, and today when I switched pens. I'm a bit annoyed because yesterday, I don't know if I said yesterday, on Friday, a character who I had never even thought existed showed up in the middle of a scene, and I was just like, oh, I guess this is a character now. And I don't know what to do with the rest of my outline, because this was also the first time I've ever tried outlining. So I have a really brief outline for what I want to do and how I want to get there and things like that in this. But this character was not in that outline, and she has definitely shown up now. That was only 10 minutes. My hand really ached, my shoulder really ached. I'm actually writing on a table at the right height, so a desk instead of a coffee table. And I think my arm is used to writing on the coffee table now, and it's really mad at me for switching it up and like having an ergonomic friendly desk. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, 45 minutes and then I can go to the library, but I'm gonna take a short break first. Literally cannot tell you how much I just want to go and play video games. But we've done 2 45 minutes, and I'm going to do another 45 minutes before I go and play video games. I've got my trusty bowl of lettuce, which I'm using instead of crisps. I really want to hit a line of dialogue I thought of for the mum. So I call her the mum, I call her mother all the time in this. So the daughter, the main character, Elira, has a really difficult relationship with her mother because her mother sees her role as a parent as to train Elira to take the throne, but that doesn't necessarily have love in it. And also Elira's older brother, Falcon, or Vaznek, he, yeah, they both have a very difficult relationship with their mother. And so, but she's an awful person, honestly. Like, she's very cold and aloof and calculating. She doesn't want to spend too much time with the children because she feels like that makes them weaker. They need to be like very self-sufficient. But she's one of my favorite characters to write because she just, the way she speaks, she's so like dismissive of everyone. She's so much more clever than everyone. Like, she's thinking 200 times into the future about like things that you know, that the main character hasn't thought of. And I love writing her dialogue, even though she's a callous biatch. I kind of love her though. Like, I think that she has gone through a lot, and yeah, this isn't her fault. Like, the mother, she's the guardian of the entire realm, so the entire realm's safety depends on her. During the worst, what do you call it, when it doesn't rain? Drought, that's the one. During the worst drought they have ever seen, which has turned their entire country into a desert. They're at war with 3 nations, I think, and although you only ever see them, and they only have one ally who's kind of a skeezy dude. And yeah, it's just, she's got a lot going on, and her 2 kids are just rebelling all over the place and going mental. But I love her, so I really want to get to that line in the dialogue and transfer it from this notebook, where is all my questions for like, these are my edits. So like, oh, do this next time and do that next time. And then this is the line of dialogue. Okay, our country's called Mintag, the other country's called The Stretch, just so you know. If I thought our people would stand for it, I'd give a gift of Mintag to the Stretch and rule it as their duchess. That is how little I think of your display. I love her so much. Alright, I'm gonna get writing, and I'll update you at some point today, probably. So after the last update, I wrote for 45 minutes and I had to refill the pen, and then I might have played Diablo 3. But I'm back, which is the most important thing. I did some laundry, I hung it out or whatever, and I'm back and I have ink. You can see here the bit where my pen, you can see here the bit where my pen ran out of ink. But my pen has ink now. And I have biscuits, 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. And we're ready to go for another 45 minutes. I only have 2 more 45-minute sessions left of the day in the day. So far I have stayed focused for 3 hours and 10 minutes. So that's 10 minutes more than my Friday goal. So 45 minutes more, and I've actually hit 4 hours, which I might stop at, but I might also do another session after this of 45 minutes. It depends how I feel, but I definitely want to keep writing. I also didn't get to the bit where she says the thing about giving away the country yet, because it turns out it's much harder to wake people from comas than even I knew, especially with no magic. So I have finished another 45-minute sprint. I am not sure that I will be doing another one because honestly, like, my inspiration has kind of run out and my hand hurts, and I've already written for 4 hours today. So I think for now I'm just going to let that go and see how I feel later, maybe when we've been shopping. But I'm really proud of myself. I did 4 hours of writing, which is like half a work day, and also did some chores and cooking, and it was a really productive day, and I didn't even get any books out of the library except for the one I'd reserved already. So yeah, what I'm saying is success. I wrote 14 pages in total, which is a lot, and a lot of them were quite introspection-y and angsty, and people telling my main character off for being impulsive, which I'm sure I will cut down on when I come to edit it, because nobody wants this much angst in a novel. But I really enjoyed writing it, and I feel like the story is back on track now, which is really nice, except for that one lady who showed up, and I don't know what to do with her. But yeah, I'm pretty excited by it. I've actually hit page 117 in my notebook, so I have handwritten all of this. Look at it, woo! That's a lot of writing. So I'm pretty proud of myself, and I'm on chapter 13 as well. I'm going to stop here, I'm going to tidy up the house and maybe do some reading and try and enjoy the rest of the day. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday morning. I'm not really in the mood to write, but I'm less in the mood to play video games all day, so that's good. I'm going to be doing my 10-minute warm-up sprint and then a 45-minute word sprint, and then I will see how I feel. So it is still day 4. I only wrote for about an hour and 40 minutes today. I just wasn't feeling it. I had a nap and played some computer games and did some YouTube admin and things like that instead. Yeah, I just couldn't get the story out of me. Like, I had no idea where it was going and the words just didn't want to come. I thought maybe if I take a break today, then I'll feel better tomorrow, and then I can, you know, focus on writing tomorrow in between my run in the morning and my doctor's appointment at lunchtime, which means I will be leaving the house a lot, which I think really helped yesterday, although it did eventually tire me out. Also, I will be home alone tomorrow night because my partner is at a work event, so I will have some time to kind of like, you know, read. Good morning, guys. I have my fruit smoothie. Still working on the recipe. I have run, obviously, and showered, because you can tell. I'm kind of convinced that yesterday I didn't do well because I didn't have a schedule to follow, and so I was a bit aimless. So today I have made a short schedule. I'm only going to do 4 45-minute sessions, and then 110 and 120, kind of like ease myself in. I'm also not going to be working on the handwriting book today. Instead, I'll be working on edits for my querying book. I just want to really tighten up the timeline just in case I get a full, make sure that the character that my beta reader said was unlikable is likable, things like that. So yeah. I also have a doctor's appointment coming up, so I need to leave the house for that, and I'm going to try and walk there because it's about a 30-minute walk, so it would be nice to walk there and back, and then, you know, done a lot of exercise today. It's okay. I think I need better quality strawberries. These taste underripe. Editing is my least favourite part of the process, so I've done 10 minutes now, adding a small scene in with the new, editing the old scene with the man, and now I have to go and add some more scenes that like will add up to a big reveal that will make him seem nicer somehow, and also no longer strongly suggesting that the girl stripped for him. Don't you just think that editing is the hardest part of writing? Like, for me, the drafts flow really easily, but then when I come back and edit, I'm like, I can produce words, I just don't know how to make them good. Like, what is your favourite part of the writing process? Like, is it drafting or editing or querying? Who's this querying, seriously? But I'm trying really hard to focus and get this done because it really needs to be done. I need to make this character likeable, and then once I've done that, hopefully, send it to the beta again for their feedback, and then I need to adjust a timeline of the next chapter because my beta said that chapter is the only one in the entire book that dragged for them, and they felt like it just took way too long to do the very simple thing of being rejected from a hotel. 45 minutes to go. So it is Wednesday lunchtime, and I have just finished chapter 6 of Nevernight, and I'm really sad. I have the same monsters in my story, and including the way that they breathe and the way that they move. They are slightly different, so in this one they have tentacles and in mine they don't. But I'm really sad because now people are going to think that I've stolen it from J. Kristoff, when really I thought of it myself and like, yeah, I came up with the way that they breathe and stuff myself, and now so did J. Kristoff, I guess, simultaneously. But that's okay, you know, that happens sometimes, I guess. I don't know whether I should change it or not, because like I really liked that part of my story, and now J. Kristoff's done it and done it maybe better, I don't know. We'll see. Sad though. But you guys are my record that I wrote it before I read J. Kristoff and not after. So it is the end of Wednesday. I did so much writing, not so much on this project, I only did 2 pages. This is yesterday's work. But I did do 3 sets of 45 minutes on, well actually 2 sets of 45 minutes on editing my novel, and I now feel like that's in a really good place. There's one more timeline niggle that I want to fix, and then I am done with that one. Well, I just forgot what that timeline niggle is. Oh well, it'll come back to me. And then I am sending that off back for review. And then as I said, I wrote 2 pages of this just in 20 minutes just to keep on going and keep the momentum going with this one. And yeah, it's been a very productive day considering I went out at lunchtime and had lunch with my partner and things like that and had a doctor's appointment. So I'm pretty excited about this. I know where this is going now. I'm at the point where a piece of dialogue I wrote 6 weeks ago is finally going to go in, which I'm very excited about, and yeah. So I have been thinking about the fact that my monster is the same as the monster in Nevernight, and it got me thinking about a lot of comparisons between Nevernight and Red Sister. Now I am going to try and keep this mostly focused on non-spoilery things, but there are also some spoilery comparisons that I just want you to, if you've read them both, you'll, you know, think about it. You'll see what I mean. But I'm not gonna, there's gonna be no spoilers in this. Ow! There's gonna be no spoilers, but both of these are about a young girl whose father has been murdered. Both of these are about a young girl going to a red church to learn to be an assassin. Both of these feature lessons in poisoning, in blades, in... I think the only one that the red church didn't have was charms, which I really enjoyed in this book. I think the Sister of Masks, or the Master of Masks, or whatever she was called, was really good and a really good idea. I can definitely see that. I thought that this book was more brutal in many ways than that one was, and just, I loved it. It was amazing. It was really good. It was really well written, but it was very similar to Red Sister in a lot of ways. And I'm not saying that that is a bad thing, but I am saying that you shouldn't worry if your book is similar to other IP out there, because as long as it's your original idea, I think people can see that. Like, this definitely is not Red Sister. Red Sister was very hard for me to read, and this was very easy once I got past the 150 pages of prologue. They're a very different story and they have very different themes, but a lot of the characters are very similar, so I don't know which one came first. I'm not interested in throwing shade or tea or whatever. I just think that kind of like the similarities of your book to other books and other works, if you're writing a book and you discover something, like I discovered that the sand monsters were very similar in this as in my novel, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Also, this is very similar in some ways to Arya Stark's journey from Game of Thrones, and I think just young female assassins apparently are very popular right now. But yes, I just wanted to share those thoughts with you because I had them, all right? And this is my YouTube channel where I share my thoughts. But yes, it did make me feel a lot better about the fact that the sand monsters were similar, because obviously the whole plot is similar between this and Red Sister, so yeah. All right. I haven't done anything today except for read, so, well, I mean, I took out some cardboard and, you know, did chores and laundry and stuff, but I haven't done any writing, so I'm going to try and sit down and do some writing now. So yesterday I only wrote for 10 minutes, but I did a bunch of stuff around the house, cleaning, taking out some giant cardboard boxes, things like that, 2 loads of laundry. I was a productive little girl, but I didn't write very much. So today I am trying to combat that. So far I have spent 10 minutes editing my currently querying novel just to tighten up some edges and make sure it is all spick and span. And then I will be turning back to the Alira novel, which is my new novel, which I am handwriting after Neil Gaiman's advice. And my hand hates me. So I did 2 45-minute sessions. I think that that was a really good effort, considering I also, you know, didn't want to write today and barely wrote yesterday. So I did 10 minutes on Ebo, as I said, and then 2 45-minute sessions on the new one. I finally got that scene that I was really looking forward to out of the way, and I've started a new one, which I'm also really enjoying. So I'm in a good place with my writing. I'm not sure I'm going to continue because my hand is aching, but I figured I would give you guys a summary of what we did, how the week went. It's been a week and a day, I think, so I started this on a Thursday, and where my motivation is at and things like that, and then we can discuss. During the process of this experiment, I wrote 60 pages. Here is the proof. As you can see, for every 45 minutes I spend writing, I tend to produce about 3.5 pages of handwritten words. I'm not sure how many words that is. If you look here, for example, it's obviously my writing is quite small. I did an initial count using this page and it was 210 words per page. So if we translate that, roughly 3.5 is about 1,000 words. So for every 45 minutes, I write just less than 1,000 words. That isn't bad. I've hit 135 pages, which is really good. I'm really pleased with that. I do wish that I had written a bit more, but you know, it's also my break. I'm also interested to see if the process changes when I am not handwriting. So once I finish this draft and finished it, I might take another 2 weeks off in summer to really focus on writing this up in Word and editing it as I go, because that's the Neil Gaiman way, and this is the Neil Gaiman experiment book. I'm not sure that writing by hand has really affected how I personally write. I am very much like, it's in my brain and it just kind of splurges out through my fingers and onto the page, and if it's a mess, it's a mess. And I think that Neil Gaiman's method would help a lot more if I was a more precise writer and I considered the words that I was putting down and I was like, should I do this or that or the other thing? And then, you know, that choice is limited by handwriting because you don't want to do both. You just want to pick one and do that one, and it's more of a succinct story. At least that's how Neil Gaiman feels. I'm not personally of the opinion that it really helped me, and I'm not sure that I will handwrite further books. I think it's a lot faster for me to type than handwriting, although I am quite quick at both, because I took all of my uni notes handwritten while the professors just talked through their notes. But yeah, I'm not sure, especially given the pain in my hand, this feels more like a method of self-harm than anything else. This feels more like a self-punishment than anything else, and it kind of makes me not want to write as much as I could. So I think in future I won't be handwriting. However, important caveat, it does mean that I can close down my laptop and my computer and just focus on writing, which is probably much better for me than when I can just turn on my computer, when I can just Control-T. And in fact, I do that sometimes out of habit. I Control-T out of habit and then type Reddit and then close the tab while I'm writing. Like, it's a genuine thing. Like a genuine habit that my fingers have gotten into. So I am pleased that you can't do this when you're handwriting, and so depending on how this book turns out, I might handwrite my next novel just because then, or possibly do it on an old computer and take the Wi-Fi card out, something like that. But yeah, I think my findings have been overall positive. I really enjoyed the experiment and I definitely want to do it again. Like, if I was doing this for a longer period of time, I might write more than 2 times 45 minutes every day as I did today, or 4 times 45 minutes as I did the first couple of days of this experiment, because just you have the whole day to write, so and kind of like you get used to the flow and things like that. I think doing this during the only break I will have in between jobs is possibly a mistake, or at least kind of like does mean that I have to focus a bit more on relaxing than I would otherwise. But I still really enjoyed the experiment. I really enjoyed being a full-time writer, and I definitely recommend that you check it out. Thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun filming this and kind of like keeping you guys updated in my writing progress and where I was at. And I just, you know, it was so much fun. So peace and love and stuff, and subscribe or I'll find you and I will delete your first draft. Bye guys. After I take a short break.